I'm here with Reda. It's Wednesday morning, Dearborn, Michigan. He's just getting ready to start his day.
Yeah.
When you come in the morning, what's the first thing you do before you start that helps you to get your day started?
I have a couple of things that I do. First thing I do is check emails, voicemails from the night before, something that I couldn't get to. And my CSI, every day we get a report of the previous day, previous CSI reports, that the customer satisfaction surveys. So I check those just to make sure everything is good, and kind of good, to see what people are saying. Make sure, and then the other part of it is making sure that you don't get any bad ones. Because if you do get a bad one, that needs to be addressed immediately.
When you say you address them immediately, you take care of them. You don't pass them off to a manager or
No,
something.
no. You have to do it. Yeah, you have to do it yourself. Yeah, you
And
can't pass
sometimes
that on.
it's heat, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But
could
you
be.
need it. But if you solve a problem for somebody that was heat involved, now they look at you as being different than most people they communicate with.
You have to own it. You have to own it. I mean, whatever the reason was, it doesn't matter. You have to solve it, fix it. You don't want people out there, being upset with you.
In the end, many of those people have a better respect for you.
Yes, definitely. And the good surveys are good for you, to kind of get your day motivated, So the good ones are really, those are good to read. Yeah.
Okay, the people seem to wonder, how do you get all these people to come in? Because you have 6 or 7 people that are probably going to buy a car from you today.
Yeah. It's all relationship business. So the relationship part of it, people are just coming in to see you constantly, but you got to build that relationship with every customer. So it's not something that just happens overnight. You have to advertise yourself. They're coming in to see you. So, advertising in your own community, advertising in local areas is key. And it's not just simply just throwing a business card at a restaurant or dry cleaners. I mean, you have to physically be present at these places. They need to see you.
They got to see you.
Yeah, they got to
right.
see you. Weddings or community centers. I'm active in all those, and I have signs up at community centers, but I'm always there. So, people are going to come up to you once they get familiar with you, and you're just a normal person. I mean, you guys are friends. So as the more you do that, the more people are going to come in to see you on that relationship level. Yeah, it's not really just a business transaction anymore. It's more relationship business.
And that becomes very crucial. The advertising and promotion that you do today, you don't have to do what you did when you first started as much anymore, do you?
No, because now you become more known. So as Damien says, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. So that's where that big volume comes from. I might not know everybody, but they all know who I am. So that's just from being present. That's it. You just got to be present in any advertising that you do, even early on. If you're advertising, you have to be present.
And about 60% of your business comes from your community.
Yeah.
But about 40% comes from.
Yeah, all over. Yeah.
How far are some people coming to see you that are referred to you? Look, up to 100 miles away, maybe even further than that?
Yeah, I mean, I get, people in other states, it just, doesn't, there's no,
Close by
there's no
states,
limit.
Indiana, Ohio?
Yeah, Ohio I get a lot. I just, a couple of days ago, sold somebody in Arizona, so just her sister bought a car for me, and she wasn't happy with what she was dealing with, so we just sent a car out to her. So, I mean, it's, anywhere, doesn't matter anymore.
And that keeps expanding because other people said, if
Right.
if you want to buy a car and you need to get it done, Ali's the guy to call, and he can get it done no matter where you're at. Am I right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that word of mouth is just like wildfire. I mean, that thing just grows quickly.
And I think you told me you have one billboard, and then the rest of the stuff is in and around the community. But the word of mouth becomes the biggest part of what you do.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're after, in the word of mouth, because when somebody comes in to see me, they already feel like they know me. So on a relationship level, whoever sent them in, your friends, brothers, sisters, whatever it is, they've already sold them on everything about you. They've already told them that they trust you. So now somebody coming in, they already feel like they trust you. They already feel like they know you. So the rest of it is just, just solving their problem, really.
And with appointments, you don't try and lock yourself into a specific time and day. You kind of give it, because you're going to be here all day long, because you don't want one to show up early and one to show up late.
Right, yeah. With that kind of volume of people coming in, you really can't set appointments. Appointments are good if you have one or two people coming in. They're good to kind of have that person accountable on time. But for me, I couldn't, because I can't keep the appointment. So I just tell them that, listen, I'm here from 9 to 6 or whatever the time I'm in. I says, you come in when it's convenient for you and I'll make time. So now I've kind of flipped it on them, saying that I work around their schedule, because I'm here anyways, so I'm here all day. So I just give them the option, just come in anytime you want. I'll make time.
And if they're hungry, you have an open tab at the restaurant next door?
We have stuff here. I have stuff in my office. I have a little fridge. We have snacks for kids.
Toys
I have
for
a
the
restaurant, toys for kids. Yeah.
Don't you have some of the kids who were here before know where those toys are when they come in back with their father or their mother again?
They don't
know where
forget.
the toy chest is.
Yeah, they don't forget. They'll go to the toy chest. They'll go to the snack where I keep the bar where I keep the snacks, and they don't forget.
I think you told me
It's
a
really
story
nice.
one time where a kid was driving down Michigan Avenue. As he was driving down, he said, "Mom, that's where the guy is, the one where I got my Hot Wheels car."
Yeah, where I got my car from. Yeah.
I got my
So
car
yeah,
from.
and the parent was telling me, and she says every time they drive by, the kid said that's where I got my car from. So
That's how McDonald's makes a fortune, because
Correct.
the kids.
yeah, they see the sign,
That's
and it's
correct.
universal, and that's what happens. So now, not only is that kid reminding the parent, now it's in the parent's mind that that's where they got their car from, because the parents would drive by here not thinking about it, but the kids, man, they don't forget.
And you have Chevy and Cadillac in the
Yeah.
store, and you sell, out of that 140 cars, is it like 100? What is it?
Yeah.
Cadillac to Chevrolet?
Maybe 25-30% ratio. So maybe 100 Chevys and 110 Chevys and 25 Cadillacs.
But in a nutshell, if we take and break it down from what you did when you started to where you're at now, and what you're bringing to the table, what you're bringing to the table today is really totally relationship based, and it's expanded so wide and so deep because of the people that you worked with over and over again, who are telling other people.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell a story sometimes to somebody that if you get a referral in, that referral is so strong that their friend who said, if you're going to see Ali, you said you need a car, you better buy a car. In fact, if you don't buy a car for him today, remember that nice Christmas party I have with the band and the Dom Perignon? I'm going to take you off the list.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're strong
Yeah,
when they
they're
come
very
in.
strong when they come in. Oh yeah, because they've already sold that person on everything, and I got to play my part too. I have to come through of who I am, so I have to make sure that I'm coming through on my end, So that's where the whole relationship business kind of comes in. Don't forget too, Bob, I don't take any ups, so it's no new customers. It's all relationship, referral, or repeat customers. So once you get to that point, it becomes so much easier. Yeah.
The guy who's selling 6 and is trying to get to 9, what advice do you have for that guy?
Talk to as many people as you can. Talk to as many customers that walk in the door, and treat it more on a personal level than a business transaction. Kind of just you got to listen. You got to listen to what the customer wants. If you listen long enough and you're patient, and patience is huge in this business, they'll tell you what they want. You just got to listen. So learn patience at that level, and the more people you talk to, the more you're going to sell. It's just a numbers game, right?
And the same is from 9 to 12 and
Yeah.
from 15 to 20? What about the
Yeah.
guy who used to sell 25 cars and now is selling 20? There's something wrong with that picture, isn't there?
Yeah, it should never go backwards. I can't see any reason why you would go backwards in any.
He's maybe lost something.
Yeah, I mean, it could be different things. Yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your product, if you don't believe in, you don't have the right process, somebody like that needs to go back and look at their process and their intentions. What's your intentions when you come in? So I would suggest to that person to write everything down. Write down your process, the steps that you're doing, and is your heart in the right place? Is your mind in the right place? All of those things kind of can play a factor. this business could be brutal sometimes. You don't sell a car for a couple of days and you just feel like it's the end of the world, you know? You get that butterflies in your stomach and you just feel like, wow, I'm never going to sell a car again. But you got to kind of get that out of your mind and just believe in yourself and believe in your product and believe in your process. And, everybody I talk to them like my friend. This is me. This is what you get now. This is what you get 2 years from now. This is what you're going to get 4 years from now. So if you maintain that, I don't see any reason why anything should go backwards.
Never go backwards.
You shouldn't go
And
backwards.
always go forward, and the
Yeah.
potential is there. It's like I was introduced by a general manager in a dealership in Michigan earlier this year. We were doing a program. He said the biggest reason all of the people here in this store know who Bob Moore is, they know what he represents. That you've been to see Damien Boudreau before. You know he has a good program. 3 or 4 of you in this store sell 30 cars a month. But he and I sat in his office and talked about Ali Reda for about 30 minutes. And when we talked about Ali Reda, we talked about the possibilities and the probabilities of what you can do. And he said, that's why I'm here today. We're a good store.
Yeah.
A lot of people here do well and make good money. But he said it's the probabilities and possibilities of doing a little bit more. And that guy's only 100 miles from here.
Yeah.
And it's possible.
It's possible, yeah, you could do more. I mean, you just gotta believe it. You
Yeah,
know, and when I met Damien at the beginning, I can't say that I believed it. I just didn't know. And I never really thought about it. So, now what Damien shows and what he teaches is it's possible. And I believed it. When he told me that, I believed it. And I just kept going and going and going. And I don't think I'm even at the limit. I think there's room for more. There's room for more. I'm learning as I'm going. My process changes, and every time you hit a new level and that process changes, you gain
The process
more
is
time.
not the process of the store. The process is your internal process, how you communicate with your people.
Right. The process of when, the sale itself, or when somebody comes in, and what's my process to get to
How quick
to
you
that,
handle it,
quick
how
can
fast
handle
you
it.
can do it in a way, and still make sure you're taking care of them.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to feel rushed. You don't want anybody to feel like they're not getting your full attention. You have to make sure that person sitting in front of you is the most important person there. And, time gets shortened up, with your process. So, I might take now 20, 30 minutes to do a delivery from start to finish. Where before it might have took me an hour. So I wrote down my process and figured out what I can cut out and that, or what I can speed up. And I figured out ways to kind of speed those things up.
Well, those assistants help you a lot. I met your secretary, and she's really a dynamo.
Once you get to that 35 to 45 range, you just really start looking at getting an assistant. And that's scary at the beginning. It's hard to say, I give this person,
She's
pretty
a
much
full-time
your job.
employee.
She's a full-time employee, yeah. If nothing else, just to answer the phones,
Right.
just to kind of get back to emails or just, paperwork, filling out a deal jack, it takes time, so I don't have to do any of that stuff. So that frees up a lot of time. So the more free time I have in my office speaking to people is the more sales I'm going to get. Yeah.
The more you do and the bigger you create that relationship base, many of the other possibilities and sources to bring people in don't become necessary anymore.
No, you don't have to. You
You have
definitely
to,
don't
all the
have to.
communication, yes, but not necessary to the point, because it's 100% relationship based.
Business, yeah. It just keeps growing on its own.
And there are
it's
some
just gonna continue
families,
to grow.
there are some families that you've sold almost every member of their family a car in there.
Yeah, now we're at the point where, their kids are driving, so you get 2, 3, 4 drivers in a household. And, if they don't trust anybody to go anywhere else, this is where they come.
The trust is so strong by the parent or the husband. In a couple of cases, you told me something this morning, and I think we'll end with that. The parents are sending their kids in because they know, and their kids who are just old enough to drive for their first car, because they know you're going to take care of it properly and put them into the vehicle they should have, and they should take care of it.
Exactly. Yeah, now the trust factor is there. So, and I'm doing my part. I'm definitely doing my part. So, these young kids, a lot of times they'll come in and they want fast cars or, Camaro or Corvette. And, just because they want it doesn't mean I'm going to sell them that car. If it's not the right situation or not the right car for them, I won't sell it to them.
Because you know the family.
I know the family. I know what's right. I know, so, a lot of the trust and the decision making is now falling on me. So I'm making more of the decisions than they are. So it's more, they'll come in and say, okay, what do you think this time? You know, and then I make the decision from A to B, from A to Z. So it's, you know, a lot easier for everybody. They're relaxed. The kids can come in, buy a car. The wife can come in and they don't have to go back home and discuss it for 2 days. It's just, everything is right there, right then and there.
And besides the kids, you also told me that you're seeing more and more and more of it, that the wife is coming in to take care of it for the husband,
Yeah.
because also that same trust factor.
Or vice versa. I mean, I'm getting one person from the household coming in and making the decision, where before you'd have, you know, if one person came in, they'd have to go back and discuss it and discuss it for a couple of days. And now it's just the decision's made right then and there. And that goes back to the process and speeding things up, you know. Because, you know, if the wife comes in, then we can make that decision right there. If the husband comes in, we can make the decision right there. Yeah.
So I want you to pick up that book there, because if you keep it simple selling,
Yeah.
and now I want you to pick up the other book. It's the possibility and probability that you could sell 100 cars a month.
Possibilities are endless. Yeah.
Ellie, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
And I think, I just looked out the window, there's a
Thank you.
line in front of your
Yeah.
office, you gotta get down there
I
and sell
think
some
so.
cars.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you. Thanks.